You are tuned to ARP on the Accelerated Radio Network. It's 12 noon, and it's time to have lunch. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Bringing money talk you can understand. And now here's your host, Miss Charline.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Miss Charline, and welcome to Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Today, our topic is going to be living more for less, and I have three experts in here with me today, and we're going to talk about them individually, and then we'll have a collective conversation. How's everybody doing?
Doing great.
That's good. You guys ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So today in my studio, I have Katrina Shenfield. Hi, Katrina.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing marvelous. How are you?
I'm good. And then we have Miss Jennifer Hoffman. Hi, Miss Jennifer.
Hi.
And then we have Jeremy. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing
Jeremy
good.
is Jeremy Irvine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jeremy's going to talk to us today about design. He does interior design. And this is Jeremy's first time on the show, so welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Could you tell us the name of your company and how
Jeremy
long you've been in
Irvine.
business?
It's Jeremy Irvine Design. I've had my own business for 2 years, but I've been doing, my background's in architecture and interior design, and I have been designing interiors since birth.
Wow. So you're that guy that walks into someone's house and says, oh, this needs some work.
No, I would never say
Not
that.
out loud.
I would never.
In your head.
It's more, maybe in my head.
Okay.
I'm more like, I'll walk into someone's house and find one thing to compliment.
Oh, good.
There's
Okay.
got to be one good thing you can say about anybody's
Oh,
house.
definitely, definitely. And so when you think about interior design, people always think it's extremely expensive to remake their house. So today, you're going to give us some tips on how we can do that inexpensively so we don't break the bank?
I have some things that you can do almost for free.
Ooh, okay. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. And then Jennifer is here, and Jennifer is our brand architect. So Jennifer, you want to tell us a little bit about your business?
Oh, sure. I have a marketing firm, and what we do is we specialize on building up and maximizing your brand's reach.
Ooh. Now, usually to hire someone like you, that's another thing. People think it's very expensive to hire you to come in and brand someone and, help them to become more marketable. And so today, are you going to give us some tips on how we can do that?
Absolutely. I have one very good, very free way of launching and building your brand.
Oh, that's good. Because, and right now when people are launching their own businesses, small businesses, sometimes they're on a limited budget. And so, you know this from, our conversations that sometimes they have to start with getting advice from you, doing one thing at a time or small packages of things so they can get their business together. Sometimes they don't have a big budget, so that's great.
Absolutely.
And Miss Katrina, how are you, dear?
I'm marvelous. Thank you.
Skincare is something that men and women are very concerned about. And it used to be women more than men, but now collectively it's both. And I think men didn't really have an outlet before for their skincare needs, and now, it's a lot more common to see a man go into a store and ask about skincare. And, some of the things that we buy over the shelf that aren't good for us are very expensive. And a lot of times we think natural care is very expensive when in fact it may be the better way to go, not only for your skin, but for your pocketbook. Mm-hmm. Do people say pocketbook anymore? Did I just date myself?
Yes.
I
They
love
say
the word
wallet.
pocketbook.
Wallet, purse, pocketbook. Okay. I just dated myself. It's okay. So, Jeremy, if I were going to ask you something like a living room, and I'm just jumping out here because I'm thinking of my living room, okay? And I want to upgrade my living room, but I don't want to spend a lot of money. And what are some tips you can give us, like, to, enhance it and make it prettier and make it look more modern like today?
I have the answer ready for you.
Oh, let's do it.
I
Okay.
came ready for this question.
Okay.
So I mentioned some things that are almost free. So everybody, hopefully you've got some cleaning supplies at home. The first thing you can do is keep your house clean, because it's really not so much about do the curtains match the drapes or like the classic interior design tools or the rules. It's hospitality is important, and the impression that people get when they come into your home. So the first thing you can do without spending any money is to keep the space very clean, so that when someone comes in, they feel like they're coming into a clean space that's welcoming for them. Also, fix anything that's broken. And if you have a leaky, this wouldn't be in your living room, but if there's a sink that's leaking, that's a good example of something you can fix with a wrench that's at home without investing any money. So for your living room, let's say you've got a little money to spend on it. A paint job will make the biggest impact of anything you can do. So
That's true.
You can go down and get a can of paint, and if you've got all the tools at home, hopefully you don't have to spend a ton of money on it. Maybe you buy a new paintbrush, but for under $100, you can do it yourself, paint the whole room, and you've made a dramatic change.
I'd like to have a paint party instead. I don't want to paint it by myself.
You know what? I hate cooking, and I love painting. So make me dinner, and I'll come over and paint your room.
You got a deal. Okay, you heard it first here, and I have proof because we have not only the audio, we have the visual.
There's a lot of witnesses. The whole
That's right.
heard me say it.
That's right. So we'll
I don't
have
know
a
how
paint.
big your living room is. It might have to be lunch and dinner.
It might be. Look, it might be breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But that's okay. You can stay all day. That's a great tip. I hadn't, to keep your space clean, and that's something that we know to do, but, that's something that's very important that some people may not realize is very important about creating, a clean space. First of all, it gives you the ability to think better. It seems to me when the space is clean and clear of clutter, you can think better.
Your head is
Right?
clear.
Your head is
Yeah.
clear. And, once you clear that space, then it gives you more ideas for decorating that may be cost effective, that may not be so expensive. So, yeah, you're right. So keep it clean. And Jeremy is going to paint for me, not for you. Get some paint and a paintbrush and
one more thing, to make your home feel more hospitable, when someone comes in, offer them something to drink.
that's very true.
Be sure to remember every time someone comes in, and water out of the tap is free.
Right.
But if you have some bottled water or
Right.
some juice, you should always have something cold and something hot. So cold water, hot coffee, some cold fruit, and hot cookies. Something just, when someone's coming over, put a little dish together or something, take 5 minutes, and then, they won't even notice that your couch is old and ratty because
They're enjoying
the hot
themselves. Now, speaking of ratty sofas, let's talk about that a bit. What can you do about that? Like if you have a sofa and it's had it basically, and it should be taken out, but you can't afford to take it out and put it out to pasture. What do you do?
Sofas are tough because that's one of the biggest investments.
Right.
As furniture goes, that's one of your big investments
Yes.
is your sofa, and you use it a lot.
That's right.
So if you've got something where it's just stained, there's always slip covers.
Right.
And slip covers are making a comeback. If you look at Restoration Hardware, they're doing a lot
That's
of
right.
slip covers. So you can buy the cheap generic ones that never fit right. I don't recommend that. But there's a lot of people around town, depending on what city you're living. I suppose you may not be listening to this in Los Angeles.
Right.
But if you're listening in a major city, you can go to a local upholsterer, and they can make a custom slipcover for your sofa that won't cost as much as a new
As
piece
a purchasing,
of furniture will.
yeah.
So that's one way to not spend a lot of money. But never underestimate used furniture.
That's true too.
Now, there's always thrift stores. You're not going to get the best quality from a thrift store. You'll probably get something like what you already have. There's consignment stores they vet the pieces that are coming in a little more.
Oh.
There's Craigslist. A lot of times people are selling something on Craigslist that they just bought, a year ago, and whatever their situation changed, and they have to move
Right.
and sell a piece of furniture they just bought, so you can pick up a piece there. And then if you go on eBay, when you can search on eBay for anything and then sort, how you can sort by price, or you can
Yes.
sort by, the relevance or whatever, you can sort by distance. So you can put in your zip code, sort the results by distance, and then find the pieces of furniture that are in your area. So you're not shipping something cross country. You can go and pick it up yourself. And on eBay, you can find there's a little of everything. So there's the rotten old things for $50.
Right.
And then there's the local furniture companies that have inexpensive furniture. There's also vintage pieces. And then there's vintage pieces that people have already taken the time to recover and restore. So you can find a piece that's in good condition that was made many years ago and stood the test of time.
Right.
But someone's already gone in and they've put new fabric on it and they've refinished the wood so that it feels new.
Wow. So I have a new couch. And not only do I have a new sofa, but my my walls are brand new because Jeremy came
You
over
like
and he painted, and I fixed him a wonderful breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so he helped me pick out the covers for the couch. I like that. So seriously, though, you can really make things inexpensive when you sit down and take some time to think about it. Because sometimes I think we get overwhelmed because we don't take enough time to sit down and plan things out, and cleaning the space, painting the room, putting a little bit of research into purchasing that couch. Because you're right, the couch is really almost the center of the room. You get a couch and a coffee table, and you're pretty much done. Because you can make throw pillows and things like that. So if you're working on a budget, if you start with a clean room, walls and everything else, and then you start adding pieces, you can take your time once you get that couch in there.
Yeah, taking your time
Taking
is
your
really
time.
key because a lot of people think, I need a new sofa, and they run out and they're going to buy one over the weekend.
Right.
But you're right. If you take a little more time, give yourself 2 or 3 weeks even, sit on the futon in the meantime.
Exactly.
But you can do some research and find a piece that's economical so that you can
Right.
go on and invest in the coffee table and the other pieces in the room.
Right. And I think the point is, you are the person they're coming to see. When you have guests, they're coming to see you,
It's so true.
And the people who are just coming to see your house aren't your friends. The people that you want to come to your home are people that care about, and they're coming to see you. They're not coming to see just your house. So as long as it's clean and comfortable, no one cares. Because all of that goes away when the conversation starts. So when they walk in the door, if you are polite, you offer them something to drink, maybe like you said, some, baked cookies or something. They feel special already.
And maybe you have some flowers or a candle burning so the room smells fresh.
Good, yeah. So it's not so much what's in the room, it's who's in the room, right? That's what takes the room up a notch. It's not what's in the room, it's who's in the room. Because you can go into a well-furnished room, and it's cold, and
True.
the people in it are cold, and the conversation is cold. So if you're in a warm environment, people you care about, who cares what the furniture looks like? As long as it's clean and you're nice to the person who came in, you're hospitable, then that to me makes the room.
So true. And you see to their needs. And
Exactly.
You put yourself in their position and how would they feel? What would make me feel comfortable if I was in this room?
Yes.
And then everyone who comes over there is going to leave with a warm feeling.
That's right.
Yeah. Like you were saying, in those cold rooms, someone could leave and they won't remember, what each little piece of furniture looked like.
No.
They'll just remember the overall feeling. It's
That's
the same
right.
thing if you give someone a nice feeling when they're in your home. They'll leave with a good feeling and not remember what each piece of furniture looked like.
That's right. So don't focus so much on the furniture and the pieces. Focus more on the people that you're inviting over and your hospitality, how you make them feel when they're there, right? So that's good advice. So that's inexpensive, and a lot of it is free. Work on you instead of the room, right? I like that. And
Work
then,
on you and then get the room together later.
Exactly. And Jennifer, you work on our businesses, right?
I do.
And so what advice do you have for someone who is starting a small business? They may be starting, a business in their home, so it's online. What are some tips you can give us to, spruce up the business so that, it makes them more attractive for people to want to come to your website or whatever?
Absolutely. Well, as someone who was a small business, starting out is a very, very daunting task. It is the massive chicken and the egg question.
Right.
How do I sell this thing to people if I don't have a way to present the thing that I'm going to sell, yet I have no income? So that's a really, really trying problem that pretty much all small business owners do end up facing.
Right.
And so they lose track of what they already have in hand. And what they already have in hand is their network. your network is bankable. You know, whether it's your Facebook, whether it's your friends and family, that is an asset that you can leverage to build your own business.
Right.